friends, subscribe to my English class to get notifications.
Good morning, students. We studied in the previous chapter the working of the UN, in which we studied in detail the structure of the UN, the principal organs and agencies of UN, and the functions of these organs and agencies. Now, in this chapter, lesson number 16, we are going to study India and the United Nations. India is the largest democracy in the world. It is a peace-loving country. It is one of the founding members of the UN. It has full faith in the ideals of UN. It actively participates in the agencies like UNESCO, WHO, FAO and ILO. We studied all this, you remember? Our country has been a member of the Security Council several times. We also studied Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit was the first woman president of the General Assembly of the United Nations. It was a matter of great pride. Some of the main contribution of India to UN are as follows. Now, how did India play its role in UN? That we are going to study in detail. India has sent its armed forces as peacekeeping forces in Cyprus, Middle East, Korea and Congo, Zaire. India opposed the policy of discrimination practiced by whites against blacks in South Africa. This was known as apartheid. When apartheid was abolished in South Africa, India re-established relations with South Africa. Then in 1956, Israel, England and France attacked Egypt. There was a danger of world war. Timely intervention by India helped to avert means stop, the world war. Under the directions of the UN, our forces went to Gaza Strip and Lebanon to bring peace there. Many Indian experts are working for the UN agencies like WHO, FAO, UNESCO, etc. Likewise, many UN experts come to our country to solve our problems. India has also received help from the agencies like World Bank, WHO, FAO, UNICEF, etc. The WHO has helped India fight against disease and epidemics, and this you must have seen during this corona time. The FAO has helped to change the deserts of Rajasthan into a fertile land. The FAO has helped in improving farming methods. New seeds, pesticides and fertilizers have been developed through cooperation with Indian scientists. The UNICEF supports Anganwadi programs in India. You have heard about Anganwadi. So this is promoted by UNICEF. India often borrows money from IMF. The full form of this is International Monetary Fund and the World Bank to support its development programs. So India takes money from IMF. Now non-aligned movement, NAM. After the World War II, the United States of America USA and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics USSR emerged as the most powerful countries in the world. These two countries formed two groups. These groups were based on military pacts. The world was moving towards another war. This grouping into two camps was known as alignment. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first Prime Minister, felt that this alignment was against the interest of developing countries. Developing countries means those countries which are not rich. He wanted to stop this groupism. He held talks with Josip Broz Tito of Yugoslavia and President Abdul Gamal Nasser of Egypt. They too agreed with Pandit Nehru that developing countries should remain neutral. That is, they should not align themselves with any military bloc. Thus, the non-aligned movement was born. Its aim was to urge small nations not to join military camps. In the beginning, only a few nations joined this movement. With time, many countries realized its importance. Today, it has 120 members. The NAM was found in 1961. At Belgrade Conference, they are mostly small and poor nations. They cooperate with each other in solving problems of poverty, illiteracy, health, etc. They carry on trade with each other. They depend on each other rather than on big countries. Membership of the United Nations is open to all peace-loving states that accept the obligations contained in the United Nations Charter and are able to carry out these obligations. States are admitted to membership in the United Nations by the decision of the General Assembly upon the recommendation of the Security Council. India was among the original members of the UN that signed the declaration by UN at Washington, D.C. on 1st January 1942. India is a chartered member of UN and participates in all of its specialized agencies and organizations. We studied about the agencies of UN. So India participates in all these agencies very actively. In a speech at United Nations in New York in September 2015, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that his country was committed to following a sustainable path to prosperity.
माननीय आधुनिक महानायक महात्मा गांधी ने कहा था
that towering
हम उस
personality
भावी
of our
विश्व के लिए
times,
भी
Mahatma Gandhi, once said
चिंता करें
that we must care
जिसे
too
हम नहीं
for that
देख पाएंगे।
future world that we ourselves will not be able
जब
to see.
जब विश्व ने एक
And
साथ
indeed,
आकर
whenever the world
भविष्य के प्रति
has collectively
अपने
risen
दायित्व को निभाया है,
to its obligation towards the
मानवता के
future,
विकास को
humanity's
दिशा
progress
और
has
एक
moved in the
नया
right
संबल मिला।
direction and it has gained a new strength.
70 साल पहले जब एक भयानक
70 years
विश्व
ago,
युद्ध का अंत हुआ था,
When a catastrophic world
तब इस
war
संगठन के
ended,
रूप में
this
एक नई आशा ने
organization
जन्म लिया।
represented the birth of a new
आज हम
hope.
फिर मानवता की नई
Today
दिशा
we
तय
have
करने
gathered
के
here
लिए
once again
यहाँ एकत्र
to
हुए।
chart
He called on developed nations to honor their financial pledges, both for development and tackling climate change. He also said that India was concentrating on the basis of development, that is, housing, power, water, and sanitation for all. Minister of External Affairs Sushma Swaraj addressed the 72nd session of UN General Assembly on September 23, 2017. She said that the UN was established for the welfare, security, harmony, rights and economic progress of the people of the world.
नमस्कार सभापति जी, सबसे पहले तो मैं विदेश मंत्री लाइचेक को यूएनजीए के 72वें सत्र के सभापति चुने जाने के लिए अपनी ओर से हार्दिक बधाई देती हूँ। हमारे लिए ये गर्व और प्रसन्नता का विषय है कि हम विदेश मंत्रियों में से ही एक विदेश मंत्री आज इस उच्च आसन के लिए चुना गया है। सभापति जी, मैंने पिछले वर्ष भी सभा को संबोधित किया था। इस एक वर्ष के अंतराल में संयुक्त राष्ट्र में और दुनिया में अनेक परिवर्तन हुए हैं। संयुक्त राष्ट्र के नए महासचिव चुने गए हैं और वो संयुक्त राष्ट्र को एक सशक्त संस्था बनाने के लिए जो प्रयास कर रहे हैं, उन प्रयासों का हम स्वागत करते हैं और उन्हें परिवर्तन के एक पुरोधा के रूप में देखते हैं। सभापति जी, आज का विश्व अनेक संकटों से ग्रस्त है। हिंसा की घटनाएं निरंतर बढ़ रही हैं। आतंकवादी विचारधारा आग की तरह फैल रही है। जलवायु परिवर्तन की चुनौती हमारे सामने मुंह बाए खड़ी है। समुद्री सुरक्षा पर प्रश्न चिन्ह लगा हुआ है। विभिन्न कारणों से अपने देशों से बड़ी संख्या में लोगों का पलायन वैश्विक चिंता का विषय बन गया है। विश्व की आबादी का एक बड़ा हिस्सा गरीबी और भुखमरी से जूझ रहा है। बेरोजगारी से त्रस्त युवा अधीर हो रहा है और पक्षपात से पीड़ित महिलाएं समान अधिकारों की मांग कर रही हैं। परमाणु प्रसार यानी न्यूक्लियर प्रोलिफरेशन का विषय उन्हें सिर उठा रहा है और साइबर सुरक्षा पर भी खतरा मंडरा रहा है।
India fully supports the efforts in this great mission. She said that the world is trapped in troubles like rise of violence and terrorism. A large part of the world's population is tortured by hunger and poverty. In this critical situation, India has shown courage and leadership to take tough decisions to intellect the process of sustainable development. All programs launched by India such as Digital India, Skill India, Clean India, Startup India, Stand Up India, etc. have a principal purpose of empowerment of the poor. India's role in UNO has been one of the strong supporters of United Nations organization. It always promoted the cause of UN and cooperated with it. So students, we learn from this lesson the value to work with love for peace. We also learn that we can progress fast if we are educated. So, study regularly. This lesson also teaches us that we must not waste food. There are many people less fortunate than us who do not get enough. And many times in the parties, we have the tendency to overfill our plates. We must only take as much as we need and as much as we can eat. We must also learn to eat food that is good for health. Will you keep in mind the life skills and read the lesson and try to attempt the exercise given after the lesson? In our next class, we will discuss all that. Thank you. Bye.
What you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politics.